Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this very special live stream. It's a preview of Series 2 of Property Elevator, which appears on your screens on Sky's Property TV channel. And I have the pleasure to be joined by my four fellow angels, who I'll be introducing you to, and also the show's co-producer as well. So we've got plenty to discuss, all about Property Elevator, what the show's all about, what you can expect when you watch the show, what some of the angels are all about as well, and some of our views on property and the market going forward and the challenges we all face, and also an opportunity for you to ask your questions to our angels. So if you're tuned in, let us know where you're watching us from. Leave your comments on the side. If you're new to this channel, make sure you subscribe. We release tons of new content, all dedicated to helping you be more successful in property. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon. We'll let you know as soon as we upload. Yes, that's the right word. Okay, without much further ado, let me introduce you to our guests tonight. First of all, Nicholas Woolwork. Hi there.
Hi Ranjan, thanks for having me on.
Yes.
Good fun tonight.
Yeah, good to have you, and we'll learn more about your good self in a mo. And Paul Mahoney, hi there. How are you doing, sir?
Thank you for having me. I'm very well, thanks.
And John Howard, of course.
I'm very well, but I'm disappointed that I'm the only one wearing a tie.
Oh dear me. Well, I did wear one for the filming of the show.
Bit unprofessional, I think, but there we go.
And Helen Chorley, of course. How are you?
Hi Ranjan, I'm great. Lovely to be reunited with you all. So coming to you from Malta, indeed.
And a person that you don't normally see on screen, and he's just told me this is the first sort of podcasty interview thing he's ever done. The show's co-producer, Michael Hammond.
Hi there. Yes, normally firmly on the other side of the camera. So
you're not screen shy, are you?
I'm not. I just prefer it on the other side.
So tell me, Michael, what's Property Elevator all about? What's the big idea?
Well, the big idea is it opens up the opportunity for people that are looking for either finance or a degree of mentoring and kind of JV. Opens that up to people that obviously are very well experienced and have the capability to do that. So completely unique on UK TV and worldwide TV as it happens, and just a massive opportunity, and also creates some great TV as well.
Brilliant, brilliant. And when does the show air? When can people see this show?
So the first programme is going to broadcast on the 15th of October at our very best prime time of 8 p.m. and you can see that on Sky 192.
And of course, John Howard, pleasure to be joined by my fellow angel, John Howard. John, it was your idea, wasn't it?
Well, they say yes, it was my idea really, but I spoke to Michael, and to be fair, it was a joint idea really. But I just felt that there wasn't enough support and help for would-be potential developers and investors, and I just thought it'd be a really good fun thing to do to get a number of experienced investors and developers. And I just think we're a bit of a dysfunctional family really now, the five of us, and we've had great fun filming this show, and obviously we've got the next series coming up in March, which I think we're all going to re-sign up to it and do it that as well. And I think it will be every session, every season, I think will be better and better.
Yes. I mean, I'm feeling like saying, whenever you see, the Jonathan Wash show or Graham Norton, and you see all these people talk about their TV shows and all of that, they always say, we had plenty of fun on the sets. And I've always wanted to say that, actually.
Yeah.
We had plenty of fun on the sets. It was a real laugh, lots of banter and all of that jazz. I never thought I'd have that opportunity to say those words, but there you go.
Well, you can thank me for that, Ranjan.
So, and then you assembled this motley crew of the four of us. Well, how did we manage to get on then?
well, the most important thing is what I've learned in the last 2 or 3 years of being involved in property TV and so on is that the good guys need to stick together. And what what I've found is that, you know, you tend to be attracted to like-minded people, professional people who have been there, seen it and done it, and are decent and honest. And I think that's what it's all about, definitely.
Brilliant. Listen, I have a bit of a surprise for all you guys, because actually on the show, what they did is they filmed some promo videos where all of us get to introduce ourselves and basically big ourselves up a little bit and tell you what we do in property. So I just thought I would play these for you and see what all of us think of all our experiences. So since I'm looking at Nicholas in the right-hand corner.
This will be good. This will be good.
Let's see.
How long is it going to take? About 20 minutes. Yeah.
No, they're all about a minute. But let's see what Nicholas has to say. So this is Nicholas's promo video, so you get an idea of the angel that is Nicholas, and then we'll throw in our 2 pennies worth afterwards. So enjoy.
My name is Nicholas Woolwork. I'm an investor, developer, author and owner of propertyforum.com. My expertise is in property development and in particular micro studios. I love property because it creates a passive income. It's a great way of generating wealth and freedom. I think to become successful, you need to be flexible and creative and work with lots of different people. The qualities I'm looking for today are an entrepreneur that's driven, someone that's creative and able to overcome problems when they arise.
Brilliant.
Well, that was embarrassing.
So it was quite embarrassing, wasn't it? Yeah.
bit of a slow mover there in that video. Yeah. Are you going to be agile enough to pounce on the deals?
I was doing the robot. I was doing the Peter Crouch robot.
Brilliant.
So, and anything to say, guys? Did you enjoy doing that filming?
Well, I didn't even know what micro units were 2 years ago, so I've learned something new. So that's always good, isn't it?
But they're going to abolish them next year, probably, aren't they? So I've made my hay for a few years.
Yes, yeah. So you're responsible for making all these rabbit hutches. People are.
Yeah, but we're not though, because ours are decent size. You know, ours are sort of 20 odd square meters. They're not these 6 square meter rabbit hutches that that John used to build, of course.
They were called studio flats in the 80s. Studio flats.
Yeah, in the 80s, that was legal.
Yeah, that was legal in the 80s.
In the 80s or the 60s?
Careful.
Okay, so let's introduce you now to Paul Mahoney. So let me just get Paul's.
I don't think I've seen this one.
I don't think I've seen this one.
I'm Paul Mahoney. I'm a property investor, best-selling author, and I run a property investment advisory company. I've been in the industry for just over a decade, and I specialise in helping people profit from property. That's including what they're trying to achieve, due diligence on the location and the opportunity, and then actually helping them bring that to fruition. I'm a big believer that it's not just about the deal, but also investing in people. So I'll be looking at both the deal being presented and the person presenting it.
I think my immediate question that I've just got to ask really is that, Paul, John's written some books, Nicholas has written some books, but you're the best-selling author among the trio. Has he outsold you, John?
Ranjan, how many times have we heard that, eh? How many times have we heard it? Goodness me.
Actually,
everyone get their books out.
I've heard it so many times now. I believe it myself now. I've heard it so many times.
Oh, brilliant.
Who's got the most books, that would be John, I think, wouldn't it?
Sorry?
Who's got the most books? That would be John.
Yeah, thank you, Nicholas. Yes, and another one on the way shortly as well. A fourth one on the way shortly.
Oh, they're all on my bedside table.
That's slightly worried. If that's
Signed.
true, Nicholas, I'm slightly worried about your sex life.
Right,
I'll tweet a
okay.
photo of that later.
Let's now see Helen's video.
Oh, this will be good. This will be
One of
good.
the angel investors on Property Elevator. I've always been very interested in property, and numbers is a real thing for me. And I took the skills that I'd acquired over my 20+ years in finance and investing into the world of property. There's a number of things I'm looking for in applicants. I really want to see that it's a very well thought out proposition. I'm really strong and I'm really analytical on the numbers side of things. And I want to see that exit strategies have really been thought through, and also that the numbers kind of really properly stack up. I also want to understand people's why. What's their passion? Why are they doing this? And why do they think this is a particularly good deal? I'd really like to see a lot of women applying. There are some wonderful women doing fabulous things in property right now. So if that's you, please do apply at propertyelevator.tv.
What a brilliant intro, actually.
You know what? What a classy intro that was. I'm slightly obsessed with the word numbers, but apart from that,
I'm slightly
and the thing is, we know it's true as well, don't we? You know,
I'd be scared pitching any numbers to Helen, seriously.
she's
Mine
so on it.
Packet
Yeah.
normally.
The only thing that was missing was like a calculator. I need a big calculator prop, don't I? God. Oh, well.
Get an abacus or something for the prop next time.
I'll tell you, but the best one so far by miles. Best one.
Yes.
Best
Now
one.
let's see whether John can beat that then.
Oh,
That's because
no,
yours hasn't
this
come
will
on
be
yet,
terrible.
John.
Oops. Now, what have I done here?
Deleted me probably.
I think Ranjan's accidentally saved us all from watching John's video.
Oh, sorry. Yes, that's it.
Ah.
John, yes.
I'm John Howard, and I've been a property investor and developer for over 40 years. During that time, I've bought and sold probably over 3,500 properties. Now I get asked to speak at different events. I've written 3 books. I advise the government on 1 or 2 housing strategies as well. Over the years, I've changed my tactics and what I wanted to do and what I wanted to get out of property. And it's very important that you know what you want to do in property, because if you don't know, how the hell's everyone else going to know? So please, when you come to the show, make sure you have a plan, it's clear and precise, and you've worked all the figures out. If you haven't done so, we will find you out. Don't let that happen.
That was terrifying. We will find you.
We will find you out.
When I said we'll find you out, I really meant Helen, because she does all the figures.
If your numbers are wrong, Helen will find you out.
Yeah.
That sounds really scary.
And may I say, didn't she find some people out? Some people that I thought were good on the show, she soon sorted them out and found out that, you know, their figures didn't add up and so on, which I had missed. So, you know, great on Helen.
In a nice way. I did it kindly.
You did it very kindly, yes. I looked a bit formidable there, didn't I? I felt. Yeah.
Very formidable. And, you know, and 40 years in the business. I mean, that's a long time. The first property was a cave, or...
Yeah, very funny. No, it wasn't. And actually, there's a show on Property TV showing my first deal, actually, that Michael very kindly did for me. Excuse me.
Black and white.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And the one I'm really regretting, or I'm not looking forward to showing in these guys' presence, which I guess I've got to do in fairness, and since I've shown everyone else's, I've got to kind of show you mine. So I think I'll have got to take their wrath.
My name's Ranjan Badacharya. I've been investing and developing property for the last 30 years. I specialise in mixed use and commercial buildings, bringing defunct buildings back into life, and also doing simple, quick in and out, buy, refurbish and sell on type of projects. In terms of applicants, of course I'm looking for the numbers to stack up. The numbers of the deal have got to be sexy. But what I'm also looking for is likable entrepreneurs. Likable entrepreneurs with passion for their game, with fire in their belly, who know their due diligence, who know their numbers, and who have a track record of success.
Well, Shall I go first?
I thought you would.
As long as it's a quick in and out, John.
I mean, I'm not being funny. You're not asking for much, are you? You want experienced entrepreneurs who are sexy. I mean, where does it stop?
Yeah, and he wants a quick in and out with them as well.
Quick in and out as well. Yeah.
I thought
it was all a bit of a weird undertone.
Yeah, me too.
I think numbers twice.
Sorry?
Yeah, numbers twice. Yeah.
Did I say numbers twice? Yes.
Yeah, but that's good in my book.
That is very good in Helen's book. She said it about 10 times.
So, what stood out for you in the? I mean, we filmed for a couple of days. I mean, I'm going to ask you all the same sort of question. We filmed for a couple of days, and the way the filming works is there was a whole series of pitches over 2 days. Entrepreneurs came in. The first time we saw them was when they came into the. What do we call it? Dragons have a den. What do we call it? Heaven? Did they come into heaven when they pitch to angels?
Michael, what did you call it, Michael?
Let's go with heaven. Makes sense. Angels, heaven, come.
And so
pearly gates.
And then you come into heaven and you meet 5 people who've got their head in their clouds, and you pitch your deal and. Where was I going with that? Oh, yeah. Out of those 2 days with all the deals, how many deals did we have pitched to us? Was it about 16 or something?
It was about that.
So what stood out for you, Nick, in that experience?
Well, it was how much stick John gave me was the main one.
Understandably, though, I thought.
I had to go and get therapy after the 2 days filming.
I suppose I'll get the bill for that as well as your expenses, do I?
What about you, Helen? Any standout moments?
I was just overall really pleasantly surprised by the caliber, by the standard of people come in and the pitches. They were generally well thought through, and they weren't necessarily goers. Actually, people listened. They took the feedback. They were kind of open to listening and to kind of taking on board our suggestions, or you might want to try this, you might want to consider this. So now I think we had a really great bunch, and it was we all had a really good laugh, and a lot of banter went on. So it was a pleasure.
John?
I think a few were a bit too cautious for my liking, not quite ambitious enough, and I can understand that. It's their first deal. They're coming into an arena where a huge amount of experience in the room, and I just felt some of them let themselves down, not in a bad way, just not ambitious enough. The deals weren't. There wasn't enough in the deals to get us excited and get us want to do them, because there wasn't. They were too small, is what I would say. Perhaps not ambitious is the wrong word. The deals were too small, and they needed to bring a bigger deal to us. Really, some of them.
Paul, what about you?
Yeah, look, I was pleasantly surprised by this caliber of the deals that were presented. I think more deals were done than I expected, so that's a good thing. I was also very pleasantly surprised about how well we work together. We're all quite different. We hadn't worked together as a group before, and I think there was some great banter, and I think John's quite right. By the end, we're like a little family, which is nice.
And dysfunctional family, he called us.
And Michael, I mean, you had a little to do with the selection process. I mean, there were quite a few applicants, weren't there?
Yeah, exactly. There were approximately about 100 applicants filled in the form on the website, which firstly throws up a logistical, how do we deal with this many people? And that was also, this was during kind of the height of the COVID lockdown as well. So we were thinking, we're going to put this out. how many people are actually going to be able to go out there and find deals. So to get that many in the first instance was amazing. We went through the process. Everyone got a phone call that got through there was a first phase, but then the majority of those got a phone call. And the quality of those phone calls was fantastic. And it turns out that when the pictures came into the room, they didn't realize they were being marked out of 5 on every single element of these phone calls, but they were. But the marks were very, very high. And what struck me as well, what was great, other than the caliber that everyone's touched on here, is also the range of experience as well. We had some people with no properties and were getting on for the first time, and we had someone that had been a developer for decades and wanted a lot of money and a lot of a big deal, if you want to put it like that. So you had this huge range of people. So it was really, really, really exciting for me to experience that.
So if you want to get a question to our angels or anyone on the show today, you can do so. If you want to get your guaranteed question asked, then do a super chat. You can click on the little icon below the chat. We've got our first super chat of the evening from Yogesh, who asks, were there any plonkers that pitched?
Well, Yogesh was one of the pitchers, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Yes.
So,
yes.
Hi, Yogesh.
But aside from Yogesh,
you can't say Yogesh, obviously. That would be really unfair. Well, not that we would. Yeah. No, I don't. There was no plonkers, was there? I think everyone was really professional, and as Michael said, there was a nice range. Whether they're a newbie or a really experienced person, they treated us with respect and we treated them with respect. And it's a show where you can come on with a genuine deal at whatever stage of your career in property, and you're going to be taken seriously, and we'll analyze the deal that you've presented. And it was a good day. So no, for me, I didn't see anyone.
No, and
I think John was a bit disappointed that there weren't any plonkers, weren't you, John?
Well,
Yeah.
I was a bit. To be fair, Helen, I by the end of the second day, it's a very tiring filming schedule, by the way. Thanks for that.
All the stunts. We do all our own stunts.
We started very early and we finished quite late. And I have to say, everyone got treated rightly so with respect, whether they were beginners or whether they were experienced. And I think that's the only right way to do it. But I was hoping we might have someone come in, one of those young, cocky type guys who can take a bit of banter and take a bit of stick. And actually, they're all very nice. So I was a little bit disappointed, Helen. You're right. Yeah.
But that's down to the selection, I guess.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like I don't know, what's that Simon Cowell show where they actually get people on who can't sing just to rip them apart. I mean, everyone that was on the show had something that was broadly fundable, and it was really down to we wanted to do it. And so many of the deals got funded, which actually surprised me. I wasn't expecting the ratio to be so high.
No, too high from a production point of view.
You see, a television producer is never happy. He's like a farmer. It's either too dry, too wet. He's never happy. And I mean, we've got to look at it. Don't forget, guys. We hope to make money out of these deals, and it's our money going into these deals, and they've got to be right. And I think the scrutiny that the people had on the day was very beneficial to everyone, whether we did the deal or not. I think the viewers will learn an awful lot about how we think and about our different strategies. I mean, I'm still gutted. I wake up every morning thinking of Nicholas Woolwork now, because he stole the best deal of the show, in my opinion. I'm not going to say what it is. You have to watch probably series 4 to find out. But that's not the point. The point is I'm gutted about it because I'm very competitive.
You wake up thinking about me most days anyway, John. It wasn't just the deal.
Well, it's slightly concerning that I do, but we are going to be doing a joint venture together, so it might have something to do with it.
Well, I turn over and look at my bedside table and see your face on the front of your book every morning. So it's the same thing.
Beautiful bromance, boys.
Very sweet.
No, there's a lot going on. No, it's certainly we've got another one. Oh, we've got another super chat coming through. Oh, well, Yogesh is asking a lot of questions. Anyone? No one else asking questions. Okay.
Ask questions, people. Let's see them. Let's see all these questions.
Yes. Any tips for pictures in the next series, just in case I apply again? Oh, I got a couple of those as well. Go on. Anyone want to start us off?
I'll start off. I think. Well, if this is Yogesh from the show, he actually put together a very good pitch, and was one of the best ones. I think it was the only one we all competed for, and he's probably a case in point of how to do it, because he had a very thorough pack that told us everything about the deal. He knew it inside out. The numbers stacked up, which Helen loved. He'd read all our books. Well, as he said he did. So, it was very impressive.
And he mentioned Ranjan's YouTube.
Remember the pack? It was books and YouTube channels. He mentioned.
Yeah, he mentioned the YouTube channel. I'm pretty sure. One of many.
There was a whole page. Remember, there was a whole page with all the pictures of the books. It was genius.
Yeah. No, I mean, anyone else tips for the pictures?
I think as Paul mentioned, actually, to have a deck, like some people came and it was a printed out kind of one page of A4, and I think you need to think about kind of who you're speaking to and kind of what the premise is, and that didn't necessarily set the right tone, even if the deal was good. You're already kind of on the back foot and having to prove yourself if that doesn't look right. So getting the deck right, I think, is really important.
I think what we're really saying, Helen didn't like that one page. She wants detail, rightly so.
Yeah, but not too much though, because there was a couple of pictures, wasn't there, where you've got sort of 10, 15.
Too much. Yeah, there is a balance to it. Yeah, there is. Yeah, definitely a balance to it.
The thing is, I think, is also to have a summary page. So you have an executive summary, so you can see the main features of the deal, and then you got the other detail in there to look. But the other advantage, I think, I mean, some people just came with one sheet and we're all meant to share, which doesn't really help. I mean, it doesn't really help. But the other thing I think is, and some people came with no handouts at all. But the thing is, the thing to remember is we get the handouts a few minutes before you come on. So it is a chance to get yourself in front of all of us before you actually come into the room.
Yeah,
we only get them 5 minutes or so before, don't we? And but still,
they are the rules. They are the rules Michael made up, and they're good rules, because the whole point is we have to be sharp and on the ball. We have to get up early and be on it from the minute we get in that room, because we're talking about investing a lot of money, and there is a risk you could lose the money if you get it wrong. So we've got to be on the ball. And they're long days, and we've got to really be on the ball from the moment we start to the moment we finish.
So I think didn't we do Thursday, Friday filming?
Yes.
So the best time for the pitchers to come on is try to get the Friday afternoon slot and see whether we're all a bit tired.
had enough.
I'm going to invest in anything.
Or Ranjan, we haven't invested enough of our money. Absolutely. Yeah.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
I think the pictures where we didn't get.
Yeah, I think I set new records for drinking coffee. A lot of coffee consumed, wasn't there?
I paid for every cup as well.
Thank you, John.
That's
very generous.
I don't mind you. I don't mind paying them for you, Helen. It's the rest of them I don't like paying for.
So what were the Michael? What were the challenges? Because I mean, it was COVID and social distancing and all of that. Did that produce any production challenges for you guys?
Well, it did. I mean, the project straddled the whole of COVID. I mean, any of you, the eagle-eyed viewers watching this now will have noticed that Nick's introduction video was very different to everyone else's introduction video. That's because we had booked a filming day in the Shard, which is what you saw, to film everyone's profile videos and all of the different marketing material. And we all got an email the day before from Nick displaying very close to COVID-like symptoms. And so the first challenge was, right, well, we don't have one of our angels for these marketing materials. So from literally day one, COVID was providing some issues. We obviously then went into full lockdown, which meant that people in the first instance couldn't look around properties as they may have, and that obviously progressed for the period of time that everyone knows it did. John and I were having probably weekly calls at least, discussing the situation, trying to second guess Boris, all those kind of things to get this.
And then, Michael, we had to find a venue that was open, which wasn't easy.
And that's once we decided this is the time that we're going to do it, we realised that our location, which should have been the Shard, wasn't going to be suitable. And we needed to find a big open space with lots of everything that you're going to need during COVID, and so we had a whole change of location as well.
Yeah, and I insisted on a 5-star hotel, which didn't help, did it?
No, that was particularly problematic, but we found one for you. So
you did. So thank you for that.
I think that's the least I deserved, given that I got stuck in the UK because I came over to film the promos. So
quite right too. You deserved it too. Yes.
But of course, that was in lovely St Albans, which was very close for me to get to. So where are we filming series 3? I mean, are we going to go around the world with this, or what?
We're discussing Malta a minute ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, if Helen wants to fly us all out to Malta, I think we'd definitely be happy to do it there. But I think, to be fair, the venue we had, I thought, was very good this time, and I think, you know, there's lots of space. We could still be in COVID at the time of some sort, in March. So I think probably they looked after us really well there at Sopwell House, and I think probably we'll go back. I'd have thought we'd go back there, but we, as a family, we can discuss it and we can decide as a family what we do.
Yes, and I think it needs to be somewhere where you can drop off the kids, where the adults can go and play as well. But anyway. The other thing I was going to ask you guys really was it's an entertainment show, yes, and it's a show where real deals get done, but there's also plenty of learning. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I found it just great to see how all you guys think. We all approach deals slightly differently, and I mean, I learned a lot, so I can't believe that the viewers won't learn so much about creative deal doing from this show.
I think that's right. I think, the one thing about property is it always surprises you, and you can always learn. There's always a problem you haven't had before or you didn't know about, and some people were coming in owning property and getting into a muddle with it, and we have to unravel that muddle and help them. So, I mean, I'm always learning every day. Every day's a school day, as they say. And when you think you can't learn anymore, that's the time you should be giving up and retiring. And I'm not doing that anytime soon, by the way, before you ask.
So, I've got a question here from, I can't quite read the name, Chosen Juan, is it? This is an interesting one, actually. Have you ever pulled out of a deal after agreeing on elevator? So what, anyone want to have a go at the sort of process that happens afterwards? Because obviously there's a little bit of due diligence and all the rest of it.
I can start off there. So one of the deals that I did on the show, the sale prices were quite a bit higher than reality. So when we spoke with local estate agents and found out the actual sale prices, they were quite a bit lower, which meant the deal didn't stack up. So it didn't proceed, which was a shame because it certainly did stack up based on the numbers presented, but it turned out that wasn't the reality. So
yeah, and I think that's for the next series. Certainly, when people come in to see us, we need the correct figures because we don't want to Paul wasted time doing his due diligence and finding out, obviously, which we all have to do. But when you find that out, it is frustrating because, we want people to come in with the right figures in the first place, that way, all the deals will get done afterwards. Whereas in reality, of course, and there's other circumstances that come up, which mean, the person was agreeing to buy the deal and someone else has beat them to it in the end or whatever. It might be all sorts of different problems, but at least when you come into that room, make sure you got your figures right because that is basics, real basics. And you get that wrong, then really there's no hope for you, to be honest with you.
And always underestimate the GDV, the value of the units in Paul's example, and overestimate your build development costs. And if the deal still works, then bring it in.
Yeah, I think that's really good. As we always say, under promise and over deliver.
I mean, we have to go on what's presented to us in the room.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And obviously, afterwards there's a process of due diligence where we do a bit of fact check. And it's not just about fact checking, if you like, the figures presented or the facts presented to us in the presentation, but there's also another part of due diligence is omission, because some people may have missed out some things that they should have really said for us to fully appraise the deal. So there is a process of that due diligence that goes on afterwards. And then, of course, it goes ahead. But basically, if we've committed to something, it's because we're excited about it and want to do it. And as long as everything stacks up, we want to do it. And we'll be featuring some of those, I guess, on all our different feeds and whatnot later on. So people will be able to follow those sort of things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what's the market's changing all the time. Let's do this other question here. Okay. I don't know much about this because I wasn't on series 1.
No.
I just came on. I didn't do an episode of series 1, did I?
You did do it. You did one episode. We did it slightly differently, didn't we? Yeah, for episode 1. Yeah.
Oh, series 1 had a mixture of people, didn't it?
Yeah.
Different angels in different shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did do one episode. Yeah. Okay. The question here, maybe this is one for John because he's been in every single episode since it began, really. In series 1, what was the sort of standout deal, if you like, of season 1 that got funded? That's from Imran Sheikh.
Well, I think the series 1 was a little bit of an experiment in a way because we were feeling our way a little bit, and this series, obviously, I believe we got the format absolutely right. We got the right people, and we're in every episode, which I think is great. I think going forward, we'll all re-sign up hopefully for March. The first series, Simon Zucchi did a deal. Simon did a deal in Wales that was successful, along with Steve Jacobs, and they because what happens sometimes, of course, if two people want to do the deal, sometimes they get together. I never do this, by the way, as you'll find out during the show. But other people like sharing deals. I don't like sharing any deals with any other angel. But some of them seem to quite like holding each other's hands to do a deal, which I can't quite understand why. But anyway, so last time Steve Jacobs and Simon Zucchi did a deal in Wales that they were basically splitting a house into 2, I think, and redeveloping and selling it, which they did successly. So I think that was a standout deal, and probably one I did try and buy that myself. I agree the deal myself, but the guy went for the 2 of them rather than me, which was rather disappointing.
Yeah, actually, to that point, Ranjan, on the Property Elevator website, there is that case study as well, so you can actually have a look at that property.
Okay. Okay. I haven't actually seen that. Okay, that's good. And we're talking about series 1. This is series 2 coming. When's the first episode telecast again?
15th of October.
15th of October. And series 3, with all of us again, that's in March. And if people want to register an interest in actually applying for that to be on, the filming is in early March. Do you want to give the website name?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah. It's propertyelevator.tv. Yeah.
Got another question here. Oh, it's a super chat. Oh, Yogesh again. Okay, here. This is one for you, John. I'm paraphrasing it a little bit. It's not exactly his words, but why are you such a meano and don't like to share?
Well, to be honest with you, we can't say too much what happened in the show, can we? But he's got a bit of a cheek, really, because I believe I made him an offer. But anyway, there we go. We can't say too much because we'll spoil it. And Michael will get very cross with us if we say any more than we've said. Well, I believe you. I just believe it's business, you know. And we had great fun on the show, and you're all my friends. But I'm sorry to say, business is business, guys. And however much I like Helen, and I don't mind the rest of you. There's no way I'm going to give a deal up or hold hands with anyone, not even Helen.
I'm very disappointed to hear that, John, because I thought we were family and blood's thicker than water and all of that, and I really expected more. I mean, I'm thoroughly disappointed by that response. Steve Curtis, what's the criteria? What's the criteria for presenting a deal? Any minimum investment value or anything like that? How do you get from 100 to however many pitched?
Me or John? Who do you want to come in on?
I guess you, Michael, and John.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, so there is no minimum criteria. I mean, even someone can even apply if they don't want any finance whatsoever. They just want their hand held through a project. That's the beauty of this for me. It's not just about the money, it's about the expertise as well. So it could be one or the other. They might want money, they might want expertise, they might need something else. Who knows? Within a property deal. So yeah, there's no financial threshold. Just if you go onto propertyelevator.tv, there's a simple application form where we ask some questions. You're not going to automatically not get through to the next level if you answer one of those wrong, for example, for a threshold. So yeah, no minimum, just fill it out, and you almost definitely get a call.
And one of the deals, incidentally, that I did, one of the two that I offered on, one of them didn't need any investment. It was just helping get the planning redefined and get the property resold on. So yeah, as you say, you might just need some mentoring, some help, some confidence building, to maximize your current site, and you feel our input would do that.
Yeah, and I was very, very keen to start when we came up with the idea for the show, myself and Michael, was that, it was open to not just people with no money who want to get on the ladder, which is absolutely great, but also for people who may have issues or problems and what helps getting that problem solved. And I think that's really important as well. So that's why we didn't just make it about money. It's also about knowledge and experience and helping people, whether it's a first-time deal, someone doing a first-time deal, or someone who has got an asset that they're in a muddle with and have got problems with it. Yeah,
and actually, John,
that's a good point.
Just add something to that. Sorry, basically, I think JVs in general in property are, talked about a lot, and often it's someone that's got the money but doesn't have the experience, or has, whatever way round a JV is, or you've got a land asset and you don't know how to develop it, so you JV with a developer. It could be any of those things. So we'd like to see, as investors and experienced people, we'd like to see all these kind of JV scenarios come onto the show as well, not just people that need cash and are starting out or whatever. So if you've got a land site or a site that you would like our experience to come in and JV with you on, that's also really interesting to get involved in.
One of the interesting things I found about the pitches was that people would come in with a proposition and a particular pitch, and after talking to us, the deal would completely be reshaped in terms of what they wanted out of it and what they got out of it, and it was kind of improved upon in a way. It evolved and grew into, or morphed, if you like, into something else during the pitch. And that was immensely creative. And I think people are going to learn a lot about how to do non-vanilla type of deals from watching this program.
Ranjan, I think so. And certainly, Helen, with your skills on numbers, you turned round a number of the deals financially. So they looked at them in a different way because of the numbers and how you understand numbers. And because a lot of people come in, a lot of property developers are more like me in a way. So numbers are important to me, but I normally have a partner or back or financial person who tends to crunch the numbers for me. I come up with the sort of fact packet numbers, and then the details done later, if you like, to make sure the deal's done or not done. But Helen, I was interesting to see the way you work with numbers, and I think I think a lot of people can learn a lot. A lot of developers, potential developers, can learn a lot from the way you did that. It's very interesting.
I guess I should ask a supplementary to Steve's question. Steve asked the question, what's the minimum value? I should ask a supplementary. What's the maximum you'd invest, John?
Well, interesting.
What's the upper limit? How much?
Well, I can't say too much, but there is one particular deal that was pitched, which was quite a lot of money, and you'll have to see. I think that's episode 3. You have to see whether someone had the balls to grab hold of that one or not.
Okay.
Just on the numbers side of things, I do think it's worth asking, there wasn't kind of a minimum and a maximum, but what there was, and the ones that kind of were less interesting for most of us, well, there wasn't enough juice in the deal.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're talking about when we say, come with something interesting. Or John said, he was disappointed because some of them were small. It's not that they were small, like value, the profit was small. Yeah. There wasn't enough wiggle room, particularly in this market. So there has to be enough juice to be able to share in that.
There was 1 or 2 that were really one-person deals, not JV deals. Yeah. So that's maybe a bit of advice for the people that apply for the next one, is make sure there's enough in it to make it worthwhile having an investor on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it basically is saying, is it worth getting out of bed for? but that is an element to it. I mean, some of these deals are okay for one person, but not really worth the time. There's not enough in there. I guess it's all been said. A question from Steve about follow-up. I mean, what are the plans to do any kind of follow-up on some of the deals that are done? I mean, we're not planning on that as an official show. It's more on our social feeds, isn't it?
Well, I've already started filming on one.
Oh, right, good.
There you go. Not going to say which one, of course, but I've already started filming on one. So, and I expect all of us will be doing that. It's during the process, I would imagine. Yes. And Michael, I know Michael. We're looking into that, aren't we, Michael? Whether we can do a follow-on show later on of the ones that have been done, and maybe some of the ones that were agreed and weren't done, and why they weren't done, because actually you can learn more about them. You always learn more about the deals that go wrong than the deals that go right in life. It's like anything.
I guess if you all tune in and the ratings are any good, then it may all happen at the end of the day, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah. It's all about ratings.
Okay, so much is changing in this property market, guys, and it changes by the day sometimes. And there's the outlook for next year, and are we going back to work? Are we going in, staying at home? In, out, shake it all about. And it seems like an eternity since this was filmed, and we committed to do the deals. What are the challenges, do you think, about getting some of these deals over the line and being successfully completed during the course of 2021?
Shall I go first?
Go for it. Yes.
Go for it. Okay. Well, I think all deals, nearly all deals, unless you're buying at auction, all deals take longer than you want them to take. There's always a problem. There's always a lawyer not getting off his backside or her backside and getting on with it, in my view. And I've frustrated at the amount of time how long these deals take. And of course, the longer they take, the less you can do in a year. So the market has been amazing since we've come back from COVID. I mean, I'm shocked. I thought the domestic market would be okay, but actually it surpassed anything I could possibly imagine. And I think many people probably saying the same thing. I'm sure all of us think that. Next year, it's going to be tough. Unemployment's going to go through the roof, presumably, still. And I've been peddling the fact that it's a two-tier market, the domestic market in certain areas. And as my great friend Paul Mahoney says, it's a micro market, John. So some areas will be good, some areas won't be so good, and some may even go up a little bit. And I think the dealing market, what I call the dealing market, the the conversions, the new build. I'm already getting offered deals, and I bought one in Birmingham recently, 20 part finished houses. The bank had gone bankrupt, the builder had gone bankrupt, so I picked that one up after the auction. So, you know, it's already happening, already starting to happen.
Helen, what's your view?
Same experience for me, John. I'm seeing a real uptick in things across my desk, particularly of the distressed nature. And actually, even since the end of filming, I've done 2 deals since. So yeah, there's some really interesting stuff coming up. I think there's going to be even more opportunities as we go along, which is, you know, kind of sad in one instance, but also if you can help people out by doing those deals, then, you know, then that's a win-win. So yeah, very interesting times to come. And I think a lot of the economic data and impact hasn't really been thoroughly priced in and be honestly and genuinely thought about yet. So I think there's going to be some rude awakenings to come, I'm afraid. I know I'm a little ray of sunshine, I know, but
Helen, I mean, a lot of the viewers may not know that you live in Malta and you're speaking from Malta right now, but invest primarily in the UK. How do you keep your finger on the pulse of the vibe of what's happening here when you're in the sun out there and we're all in the cold here? How do you keep your nose to the ground of what's happening here?
Well, pre-lockdown, I was a really too frequent a visitor. It was a week in London, a week here, a week in London, a week here. Clearly, that's not been the case over lockdown, although I have kind of been back and forth a couple of times. It's just communication. It's just, you know, getting on Zoom calls and joining in and speaking to people and picking up the phone. And it's you know, it's unfortunate in one sense, but yeah, I've gone from my nice kind of semi-retired lifestyle pre-lockdown to literally working like 7 days a week, which feels like 24 hours a day at the moment, just to keep kind of in contact, in connection. You know, exactly. It's a lot more effort and a lot more time consuming, but then I've also got to know a lot more people and widen my network. So that's been a delight, actually.
And Nicholas, we were speaking about this earlier today. I mean, because you and I are both fans of the micro studios, and the government have changed some rules today that under permitted development, minimum space standards need to apply of 37 square meters per flat. Well, I can go on forever about what I think about that change, which I will do in a up and coming video. But what do you think of that?
Well, I think it's utterly ridiculous. I think the whole point of PD is bringing in spaces. You know, I think the local authorities in particular, and I mean, it's obviously government led from a high level. You know, it's totally 37 square meters is utterly too much for a single occupancy unit. When the space standards for HMOs are 6.5 square meters for a bedroom, why on earth can't you have a bedroom-like studio of 20 to 25 square meters, which is extremely well space designed, beautiful spec, high quality fixtures and fittings, and purpose built? It doesn't make any sense to me. What it's going to do, it'll rip the bottom out of the any PD market. Conversions, developers won't be able to make any money or any profit margin that is really tight in this market. Will not exist. It'll mean less property comes to the market. It'll mean there'll be less stock, which will enhance the supply imbalance in this country, with not enough housing stock coming to the market. With COVID, the big developers and house builders are building less. The funding is going to be harder to get. It's just taken me 3 months to get 3 buy-to-let mortgages, which funnily enough got approved today by a particular lender who I'm happy to name, which was Paragon, and they've taken 3 months to do simple buy-to-let mortgages. If you're watching Paragon, you can't pull my mortgage officer today, shame on you. That's appalling behavior. I almost lost all 3 deals. And it's just shocking. And they're covering their backsides, which I totally get. Because they don't know what's going to happen and they need to be investing in the good deals. But things like this are just going to make the market even harder to deliver good quality stock, which is much needed. So what are they going to do? They'll offer PD, but then they restrict it back so it doesn't make any money, so no one can actually do it in the first place. So yeah, as I say, I could probably go on forever, yeah, Ranjan, and we're having a call on the Property Forum chat show next Thursday, the 8th at 12 p.m. Quick pitch for us there. And I'm sure we'll both have a rant then as well.
I've got plenty to rant on, and I share your views, but I won't go on to them now I'll save that for a video coming up. So make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon, and you'll get notified as soon as we upload. This is I don't know who's paid Yogesh to ask this question, but it's an absolute gift really for you guys. Anyone writing any new books that we should read before the next series? I mean, this is who's paid this guy to ask that question? It must be you, John. You're the most prolific writer.
Well, to be fair, the book I'm writing and the book I've written is really not for property developers or investors. It's really for the domestic market, because buying a house is the second most stressful thing. Do you know what the first thing is?
Go on.
Divorce. That's the most stressful. And this is the second most stressful thing is moving house. So it's a book all about how to de-stress from all that, get organized, get a decent lawyer. And what comes out of all of my 40,000 words, my summary of it all is really, it all starts off with that solicitor. And if that solicitor you pick is not good enough, you will have more stress than anything else. And really, that's what it comes down to, which is very interesting. There's some very, very good solicitors in this country, and there's some bloody awful ones.
Yes, absolutely. Anyone else got a book out?
Well, I've got a couple in process, but they won't be out by the next series, I'm afraid.
Good.
I'm on a race to get as many books as John. You see, it's like a bit of banter going on there. Who can write the most books?
Well, books are old hat. It's all YouTube now, and you can get YouTube property content.
Yeah.
Subscribe, hit the bell icon, guys. For more Sorry about that, guys. I just had to slip that in. Listen, guys, you've been fabulous. I'm really looking forward to watching this show. None of us have seen. I mean, I've been hassling Michael here to get some pre-release clips of this series. We're all waited with anticipation to see what it's all like, and see whether our embarrassing bits have been cut out. That's what I'm worried about.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
So it airs on the 15th. Which Sky channel again?
192.
192, 8 p.m. on the 15th. You'll see clips of it afterwards on various of our respective channels and feeds. I'm going to be releasing some of it on our YouTube channel with my sort of post commentary on there. So if you want to see some of that, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon on this channel. So that's Property Elevator. Absolutely great telly. Absolutely great telly. Well done, guys. And listen, thanks for letting me on. I mean, it was a pleasure to work with you guys and see how you guys operate and be part of this experience. Absolutely wonderful. Anything you want to say to our viewers before we let them go for the evening?
All I can say is, you've made it when John Howard starts quoting you.
Oh yeah, thanks. Like I said, you can learn from everyone. Paul.
Helen?
I would just encourage people to go to the Property Elevator TV, the website that Michael mentioned, and kind of tick that box for the stay in touch box, because I think some people didn't apply this time because they were a little nervous. They didn't quite know what to expect. I certainly spoke to a lot of people, especially lots of ladies, that said they were going to apply, and then it didn't materialize. And granted, we were in very, very strange times, so I entirely understand that. But I think some of it was just a case of confidence. And I think, or I hope, what people will get from this is they'll get a sense of what we're looking for, what we expect. And that will give them confidence to think, you know what, if they could do it, so can I. Sod it, I'm applying. So do go to the website, tick that box, stay in touch, and see you in March next year.
Helen, you know what it is, though? I mean, they saw John's promo video and got scared off.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Cut you out and all of that.
I did come across, they have to cut me out next time. It did come across a little bit aggressive, didn't I? I do apologise. As if.
The Simon Cowell of the group, then.
Well, you've got to have a balance, haven't you? There's got to be a balance.
Nicholas, any closing remarks?
Just, jump on propertyelevator.tv, get your applications in. We want to see as many people on there and see as many great deals as possible. And, thank you for having me on, guys. It was thoroughly enjoyable on the day. What was, echoing some of the comments today, some great pitches, some great deals. So really looking forward to the next series.
And Michael Hammond, I should say, in Alan Partridge mode, are we getting another series?
Absolutely. Yeah.
And Michael, can I just thank you for putting up with us all? Because, of course, I'm really easy to work with, but not everyone's quite as easy as me, Michael. And shall we leave it at that, eh?
No, it's a fantastic show. I'm so proud of how it's come together, and indeed the whole team that are working on it at the moment. Everyone.
I agree with that. I mean, there's a lot of film crew. Sound, lighting, cameras. It takes a lot of organisation. It really does. And Ruby Howard, my stepdaughter, was in the background organising it all as well with you. With you, Michael. So thank you for everyone who's involved. And may I also say, Lizzie, who is our presenter, what a great presenter she is, and
super.
She put everyone at ease, and she's got a really nice way about her. And I can confirm that she is signed up already for the next series. You lot aren't, but she is. So there we go.
And on that bombshell, we have to end this evening's show. So stay tuned for series 2 on the 15th, and stay tuned, as John says, to see which ones of us have made the cut to appear on series 3. Please, and see you guys next time. Bye for now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.